Maybe use a block under you or a blanket or something to just get nice and comfortable today. Once you arrive in your seat, let your arms settle on the thighs. And take a nice big breath, sort of like you're blowing through a straw. We'll have gentle but pursed lips as we take these next few breaths and blow out through the mouth. In through the nose and blow out through the mouth. Feel your chest start to open. And as you take these exhales, bringing some attention to the belly, let's actually focus first on that inhale. As you take your next breath in, feeling your abdomen inflate. And then as you blow out, pull the belly button towards the spine, feeling your belly press that air out through your mouth. And we'll take a few more conscious breaths like this, deep belly breathing. Nothing forceful, but just starting to get in contact with the motion of the breath and the action of the diaphragm. And of course, the lungs. And just start to notice the effect that these breaths have on your mind and body. Let's do 3 more on our own. And after that third one, come to a natural breath in and out through the nose. Just check in and notice your posture. Check in with the physical body, how you're holding the spine, the position of the shoulders. Maybe you take a few little loops with the shoulders. Checking in with all the muscles of the face, the expression that you're holding as you land on your mat today. If there's a scowl or any tension in the forehead or jaw. Notice the alignment of head over heart, heart over hips, and just allow your body to gently find that alignment and just connect with the physical self. And finding a place to really anchor yourself into your seat. So we started by anchoring into the breath, and then checking in with the physical body and anchoring into the seat, into the physical body. And then we'll take a moment to set an intention to really anchor into the mind, into the power of intention. And as a prompt today, I invite you to contemplate or to consider if you could give yourself any gift, what would that be? We're in sort of this time where a lot of people might be asking us for gift ideas, or we might be thinking about gift ideas for others, and probably a lot of times we're thinking about buying things and tangible stuff. And so for our yoga practice, let's consider if there was any gift that had no price. Maybe it's physical, maybe it's not, it doesn't matter. If you could have anything for yourself this year, what would that be? Just notice what bubbles up. Notice what your body is asking for, where you're being guided. Maybe it's a word that comes up a lot for you. And accept that. Maybe there's still something that needs to be revealed, or something that still needs to align or shift to help you come into that gift, to receive that gift. And whatever this gift is, begin to see your heart space expanding, opening up from the center of your chest in a receiving kind of manner, allowing the energy of this gift to start to come to you as if you were the magnet and it's just starting to draw in. As you breathe, feel the belly expanding, receiving. And relaxing your face and seeing the mind expand, to see this headspace soften and open up out of its constraints, out of its limitations and expectations. And see your whole body here starting to expand and open in a way that allows you to receive. It pushes your boundaries, it pushes your limits out just a little further. Imagine what can come into your field when you expand in this way. Expand into possibility, infinite possibility. Just take a few more quiet breaths here with your intention, with this expansiveness anchored in body and breath. Allowing the whole self to start to come into center, into balance. Now, to help with this expansiveness, we're going to play a little bit from the belly today and with some circular movements. So with your hands on your knees or thighs, you can just start to circle through the hips. It can be big or small, it's really up to you. And I really, really invite you today to not move out of habit or to try to mimic what anybody else is doing, me or anything else that you've seen, but to really listen to your body, to be open to what it needs tonight, what it wants. And just start to synchronize your breath in this gentle spiraling through the hips as if you were stirring up that Kundalini root energy at the space of the spine and starting to lift it up through the spine. Switch directions if you haven't already. You might even choose to keep your eyes closed. Notice how the whole body is connected here. Let this be sort of dynamic, letting the shoulders and chest move, maybe the head moves. Then the next time that you come forward, just bring yourself back into center. Sit up nice and tall. Feel that energetic spine reach up through the crown of the head while staying anchored into your seat, and breathe up and down the spine. As you breathe in, you'll actually draw energy down. Your belly is pulling that energy in. And as you exhale, letting that energy lift up and out through the crown of the head. Now drop the chin to the chest and start to come into your Ujjayi breath. It's like that fogging up a mirror, but the mouth is closed, and you start to hear the sound of your exhale. And start to trace then the chin along the collarbone. You may draw the shoulder blades together a little bit more, feeling a little squeeze on the back side. And tracing the chin side to side, half circles. Make sure that the ribs don't flare out here. So if you notice that the back starts to overarch, maybe just pause the movement, draw those lower ribs in, shoulder blades together, and begin the circling again. And we'll expand this circle now, but rather than letting the head drop back to circle, we're going to bring attention to the nose. So the chin circles along the collarbone, and then the nose lifts you up, points towards the ceiling, comes over to the other side. Chin comes to opposite collarbone as you draw that circle back around. Trying to keep those shoulder blades still gently drawing together. And bringing some freedom into the neck as you move and breathe. When the chin comes back to center, switch directions. Chin does half the circle, nose draws the other half. Half of the breath along the bottom, the other half of the breath up and over. Ujjayi breath. Listen for the exhale. A really purposeful breath that starts to warm the body gently and helps to focus the mind. The chin comes back to center, and then roll the neck up so the crown of the head lifts up, and reach your arms out to the sides. Take a big breath and circle the arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. Bring the left hand down to the mat, right arm reaches up and over, side bend. Keeping anchored in both sits bones. The bottom elbow can bend, ears and shoulders have space between them. Then you're going to dive down here, reaching the right arm over the knee. Walk the hands through center to the other side. Right hand plants, left arm circles open, lifting the chest, lifting the gaze. Collarbones are broad, and then reach out through those fingers. Take a nice deep breath here. Then pressing into the bottom hand, you're going to come back to center. Inhale, both arms come up and overhead. And exhale down through the middle, Anjali Mudra. Right hand comes to the mat, left arm sweeps up and over, side bend, just starting the other way, and we'll do that exact same little flow. So we're going to dive down over the right knee, walk the hands through center. Left hand plants, circling the right arm open, breathe in, take a nice full breath here as you open and expand and reach. Press into the bottom hand, come up through center, and one more time, sun breath, arms reach up. Exhale, down through center, and then come into your tabletop. Lots of distance between tailbone and crown of the head, so finding your alignment here. Hands spread out like stars, and press into each knuckle. You might start to feel the base of the hand start to stretch, especially through that thumb and index finger. And then tuck your toes. We're going to hover the knees here. So you're going to press into your feet and lift the shins off the mat just a few inches, starting to feel that warmth radiate through the body. And then lower the knees down. Just take a little pause here. You might readjust your alignment here, maybe stretch the wrists. Then we'll do that again. Press into the arms. Feel your belly button starting to draw up. And then when you're ready, press into the toes and hover the shins. Keep the head nice and long, extending out through the spine. Ujjayi breaths. Notice what happens in the hands. Maybe if the palm of the hand started to lift up, see if you can press down through the knuckles. And again, lower the knees. This time we'll take a little stretch back so you can keep the toes tucked, but press the hips to the heels. For more sensation, walk the hands back to the knees, sitting more on the feet. And for more sensation, sit all the way over top of the heels. One more time to that hovering position. Walk your hands back forward. And again, if you need a little wrist stretch, do that little movement in between. Notice what your body's saying to you here. And remember your intention. I believe this practice is an opportunity to really draw in those gifts that you want for yourself. Whatever it is, just helping to, I feel this word is way overused, but I'm going to use it anyways, manifest that quality or that energy in your life, right? Just kind of expanding your own energy to call that in. And then we'll hover the knees one more time. So pressing into the hands, draw the belly in, hover the shins, and we're going to hold it here for 3 breaths. Ujjayi breath, heating the body, relaxing the jaw. Complete the exhale, and then keeping the shins lifted, you're going to walk the hands forward, coming into plank pose. So expanding out from that position, and just start to rock a little forward, backwards, that heat radiating out through the limbs. Maybe you bend the knees a little bit. And then lower the knees, lower the forearms, and come into puppy pose. Option 1, crossing the arms and resting the head on the back of the arms. Option 2, extending one arm at a time. Option 3, extending both arms with the head on a block or the mat. If you're doing one arm at a time, take a few breaths and then switch sides. Nice, deep, full breaths. Two more. The arms are gently active here, especially if you have one or both extended, pressing down into the palms, feeling the torso get long and letting the heart space melt. And start to lift up from the ribs, lift up through the shoulders, walk the hands back underneath of you. Inhale, right arm to the sky through your tabletop. And exhale, thread the needle, but we're not going to come all the way down. We're just going to send it underneath and reach out through the fingers. And we'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, arm lifts up. And exhale, gentle twist, threading it underneath. More of a twist in the upper back. One more time, breathe in. And exhale, weave it under. Back to table, switch sides, left arm comes up. Thread it under, exhale. 2 more on your own. And come back into your table and we'll find our first downward facing dog. So you can tuck your toes again and peel the hips up. Anchoring into your star hands and taking a little movement here, pedaling through each foot. Maybe you move the head a little. Or some version of a snake dog rolling through the spine. It doesn't matter so much what you do, it's just this opportunity to connect with your body and your breath and just really notice how you hold yourself here. Start to come into stillness, anchor into the left foot, inhale right leg to the sky, and hold it here. Dial the pinky toe down. All 5 toes are pointed down. Press through the arms to kick out through the heel. And then lower right toes down and switch sides. Anchor into the right foot. Lift that left leg out and up. Hips square, dial the toes down. Spiral the arms. Breathe. And then we'll switch sides again. Anchor into left foot. Inhale, right leg lifts. Step through between the hands this time for a low lunge. Find your footing. Lower the back knee, untuck the toe. Pressing into the feet, root to rise up with the arms. And we're going to come into half splits from here, pressing into the front leg, Find your balance here. Move really slowly on purpose to challenge your balance. Pressing down through the heel, the hands come down to blocks or to the mat. Try to keep the hips relatively square, and then take a fold over the shin. Ujjayi breaths. Roll through the right foot, come through the low runner's lunge, tuck the back toe, and then step back to plank pose. Lower the knees, half chaturanga as you come all the way down to the belly. Inhale, baby cobra, shoulders loop back, and really press into the legs. All 10 toes down. We're going to hover here for a moment. Point the elbows back. And feel the back of the neck be really long, just finding a position that you can hold safely. Shoulder blades squeeze together and then release, head comes down. Press up through your half plank, so knees stay anchored. Press up through the upper body, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Other side, inhale, left leg lifts. Step through between the hands, low runner's lunge, lower the back knee. Ground into the feet, inhale, arms lift up. Pressing through the front leg. Start to reach your arms forward and letting them come down slowly, slowly to blocks or to the mat. Folding with your breath. And not just rounding over the leg, but seeing if you can find some length in the back side of the leg, even if it means you fold a little bit less. Roll through your left foot, coming forward, tuck the back toe, step back, plank pose. Same little flow here, go nice and slow. Option to lower the knees again. Chaturanga, lower all the way down. Baby cobra, engage the lower body. Press into the pubic bone. Hover here for a moment. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Feel your chest shining forward. And release, forehead down. Press up through half plank or full plank, downward facing dog. Take a walk to the front of your mat, forward fold. Flowing Ujjayi breath with no rush. Letting yourself arrive in your fold, feeling the head release. Maybe there's a sway that comes into the body. Check in with the cheeks and the forehead and the lips. And let them release with gravity. Notice if you're holding anything up in the head. And let it pour out here. Let it release. Let it release in the ears. And then bend your knees a lot and we'll slowly roll up to stand, gently engaging in the low belly. Maybe you use hands on thighs for more support. And we'll come into Tadasana. And try not to fix anything. Don't fix your hair, don't fix your shirt. See if you can just let yourself be here for a moment. Just noticing those temptations, right? And I do it all the time too. I want to do it now. And it's okay if we do, but just becoming aware of those habits to have to fix. And see if it's okay to just be here anyways. Bring attention into your feet, ground into your heels. Feel yourself standing a little taller and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Just feel your body expanding and opening into this posture. And bring your hands behind the back and interlace the fingers. We'll take a loop with the shoulders, hugging those shoulder blades even more together as you draw the knuckles down. Now really press into the feet and draw the tailbone down. Try not to flare out the low ribs, right? So what we don't want to happen is like the lower back starts to arch because the shoulders are tight. So we want to try to really anchor into the legs first and then open up through the chest, and you even feel sort of an engagement in the belly as you hold firm here and breathe into the collarbones, the throat, the chest. And this is that expansive posture, right? When it starts to get cold, when we get stressed, we cave in, we protect our hearts, our lungs, our organs. And so when we're nice and warm in our home and we're safe, we can open up. Notice where we may have been holding tension and expand. We'll just slowly release the arms and come back into Tadasana. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, fold right down through center, mini sun salute. Halfway lift, inhale, flat back, roll the shoulders back. Exhale and refold, bending the knees generously, thighs get close to the belly. Inhale, reverse swan dive, a bend in the knees as you use the legs to come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. And 2 more times, mini sun salute. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, refold. Inhale, bent knees, reverse swan dive. Exhale, hands to heart. Ujjayi breath, thread these movements together like it's one movement connecting into the next. Halfway lift and fold. The breath is the thread. Inhale, bring it back up. Hands to heart, and we'll add on. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Hands to the mat. Step your right foot back, left foot back, plank. Move through a flow of choice and making your way back to downward facing dog. So maybe cobra, maybe up dog this time. Maybe you skip it all together and go right to down dog. Anchor into the left foot, inhale, right leg lifts. Bend the knee and open the hip, look under the right shoulder. Inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, step through between the hands, crescent lunge. Inhale, soften the back knee as you reach the arms up. Let the shoulder blades run down as you breathe out. Turn the pinky fingers up. Take 1 more breath in. On your exhale, warrior 2. Breathe in, reach through fingers. Bend into the front knee, breathing out. Right elbow either comes to the thigh or right hand all the way to the ground or to the block. And then sweep the left arm overhead, bicep over the ear, opening up through the left waist, whole left side body, really anchoring down into your foot. And then back to warrior 2. Press into your feet. Feel the lower body engaged and slowly come back up with the knee bent. Breathe in. Exhale, cartwheel, hands down, stepping back to plank pose. Option to move through a flow or go straight to down dog. You might also just find a little cobra movement. Let yourself explore. And then we'll go to the other side. Inhale, left leg lifts, bend the knee, open the hip. Inhale, straight leg. And step through between the hands. Crescent lunge, rising up, letting the shoulders relax as you exhale. Turn pinky fingers up so you feel that back side of your arm sort of lengthen up from the shoulder all the way through the heart finger. One more breath in, and then the transition is into warrior two, pivoting back heel down and opening up, expanding out. Breathe in, bend into the front knee, look forward. Transition is into extended side angle, so same thing applies, either elbow on the thigh or hand drops all the way down. Right arm spirals around. If it's okay for the neck, you might take the gaze up or just keep it out to the side. And your tailbone is still drawing down towards the back heel. So same thing with that lower back. We don't want to overarch in the low back. Instead, feeling that hug around the middle. The strength in the legs. Strong legs here. Move slowly in this transition. Feel yourself pressing into the legs. Come back to warrior two. One more breath in. And exhale, cartwheel hands down, step back, move through a flow of choice, or go straight to downward dog. We're going to meet in a child's pose. So after you move through your lower the knees, big toes touch, and sink down between the knees. Let the arms relax. A check-in moment of silence. On your next breath in, slowly come forward and really listen to your breath. So not just as I cue it, but when you are ready to breathe in and move, we come back to table. Now press into both hands evenly and lift the right foot up towards the sky, bent knee. Flex the ankle just a little bit so it's like you have your footprint facing up, and you can even pulse it up to the sky a few times here. Try not to bump off to the left. Keep the hip right over top of the left knee. And then pause that movement. We're going to circle the knee. You're going to turn it out like fire hydrant and bring it underneath. Let's do a few big circles, one side or one direction. And switch direction. And then the knee comes down to meet its partner and then switch sides. Long spine. Press into the hands, footprint up towards the ceiling, just a few little pulses. And then circling around, fire hydrant. Try to keep the weight even in the arms. Notice how the body moves here. Let it explore the movement. Switch directions if you haven't already. Try not to rush the movement. And then knee comes to meet its partner. Sit back to a closed leg child's pose. So this time thighs are together. Maybe you rest on elbows. You can hold the hands. Or if you can, fold down further. Forehead comes all the way down. Your arms can go by your sides if you're not holding the head. So we go into this seed shape. We go into this enclosure to rest and to check in. It's sort of our safe space to hibernate. But it's the place of potential too. This is where you hold all of that potential, the energy you want to bring in, whatever it is you want to see in your life, to feel. And then you start to expand from that. So checking in with your intention. And when you are ready, starting to extend the arms again. Follow your breath as you come back to table. And downward facing dog. Expanding out from that seed. Let your body take shape. Heels reach down. Thighs press back. We're going to go into our next flow from here. Similar to the first. Inhale, right leg lifts. Step through between the hands. Crescent lunge. Inhale, rise up. Warrior two, exhale. Now we're going to straighten the legs, turn the toes towards the long edge of the mat, and reach your arms overhead. Star pose. Goddess pose, turn the heels in, toes point out, and then bend the knees so that they go in the same direction as the toes. And bring your elbows to about the height of the shoulders, goalpost arms. Maybe it feels good to find a little movement. See if you can sit a little lower. Squeeze those shoulder blades together on your back like you're pressing back against a wall. Not overarching the low back though. All of those things from the beginning still apply. Tailbone drawing down gently. Now press through the legs, reach your arms up. Go slowly here. Imagine you have that wall behind you as you reach all the way up. Exhale one more time to goddess pose. Elbows drawing down, shoulders back. And then press into the legs. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, hands come out and down. Bring them behind the back. Put the weird thumb on top, the way you usually don't interlace your fingers. You might shorten your stance here a little bit. You can see how wide you are. Then take a loop with your shoulders. Press down into the feet, draw the knuckles down. And connect to your breath. Release the arms, and then turn back towards the front of your mat and come into warrior two. Bend into that front knee deeply today. See if you can really extend out through the legs. And follow your breath on your exhale, cartwheel hands down, stepping back into your plank pose. We're going to switch it up this time. So rather than going through the flow, we're going to find side plank. Bring the right hand to the center of the mat. Rolling into the right edge of the feet and lift the left arm up. And you have an option, of course, to make this a side plank. Bottom knee can come down. We play with lots of different plank options, so maybe that top foot hovers. And then come back around through center, and we'll go right to downward facing dog. Let's go right into the other side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Step through between the hands, crescent lunge. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, warrior two. Straighten the legs, face the long edge of your mat, arms reach up. Goddess pose, heels in, arms come to cactus. Hold it here. See if you can lift your right heel and lower it. Lift your left heel and lower it. And see if you can lift both heels and let the body shake. And at the same time, finding your calm. Lower those heels, straighten the legs, reach up. Exhale, let the arms come down. And this time, bring them to heart center. Catch your breath. Just notice your aliveness here. We're going to use our hands to sort of mimic this expansion, especially from the heart field. You're just going to press the hands forward like you're pressing the space around you out, and sweep those arms out to the sides. And bring the hands down and back to Anjali Mudra. Take a breath in at center. And exhale, press the hands forward. Find a little bend in the knees. Sweeping the arms out to the sides. Down and drawing right up from the belly. Hands come back. We'll do that one more time. Exhaling to expand out, press around you. Arms come down, straighten legs, pull it up through the middle. And then turning left toes forward, warrior two towards the front of your mat. See if you can expand that shape. Maybe you go just a little bit deeper today. It's just for a moment. See how far you can stretch your legs out, reach your arms out. And with your breath, exhale to cartwheel, hands down, stepping back. And we'll find our side plank. Left hand stays down. Maybe that left knee drops. And right arm stacks. See if you can open the right shoulder, drawing shoulder blades together on the back. The fingertips reach straight up towards the sky. Release and come down through center plank to downward facing dog. Now we're going to find another version of side plank. We're going to do it a little differently here. So let's step right foot about halfway up the mat. And you can turn those toes out towards the side of the mat a little bit because we're going to come into our side plank from here. So left hand stays down. You're pressing into the right foot and you come onto the outside edge of your left foot. That right arm lifts back up. But then we're going to dip the hips down. So you're going to let that left outer thigh come all the way down, and you might even soften this left elbow. Reach those right fingertips down the mat. And then we're going to press back up, press into that bottom foot, lift the hip, and come back around, stepping back to downward dog. It's a little different movement. It might feel a little awkward. Let's go with it. We've got one more side. Step the left foot about halfway up. Side plank on the right. Press into the hips, and then drop the right hip. Reach those left fingertips down your mat. And then press, lift up through the side body, come all the way back, downward facing dog. Now step your right foot to right hand, left foot to left hand. Malasana, hips sit down between the heels and hands come to heart center. Long spine, sit up nice and tall. If crow pose is in your practice and you want to play with that today, feel free to play with your arm balance or not, right? You can definitely stay where you're at in Malasana. And we'll all lower down to the mat, so you can use your hands here to sit and then bring your legs out in front of you. Dandasana. Legs are engaged. Press the backs of the thighs down. Hands come by your sides and sit up nice and tall. Just breathe here for a moment. And soften everything. Bend your knees. And let's do a little figure four on our seat. So you can cross the right ankle over the left knee and use your hands here just as a prop. See how you feel here sitting up tall. Maybe you lower down onto forearms if that feels better. It might be a little less intense. Or if it really feels better, you could come all the way down to the mat and maybe hug in this shape towards the chest. So you have sort of those three options of where you want to be here. And we'll switch sides on your own. Take your time. Maybe turn the wrists a little different way this time. Slowly release. We'll bring both feet together into cobbler's pose. You're going to hold on to the ankles or the feet, sit up tall. Option to fold. I believe that when we really start to appreciate this life, that every single breath becomes a gift. When we have people that we love, can we start to recognize that every single breath they breathe is a gift? And if it's true for them, it's also true for us. It's really coming into that appreciation, that gratitude, and the expansiveness that that sort of feeling can bring, right? The warmth, the comfort, the ease that that sort of appreciation and love can bring. Really, really loving your body here. Notice what happens. Can you soften a little more? Can you stop fighting? Maybe it means you move out and stop pushing so hard. Wherever you're at, slowly come to back up to a tall spine. Bring your hands to your knees and guide them together. And then take the feet to the outside edges of the mat. Your hands come behind you again and just gently windshield wiper the knees side to side. Your heart open. And you feel you've balanced out both sides. Come back to center. Both feet come onto the mat. Hold onto the knees. And we'll find a neutral kind of forward, backwards movement through the spine, a seated cow and cat. Lifting up through the chest, shoulder blades together, and then rounding back, chin tucks in. Really easy, just rolling over the sits bones. And roll yourself all the way down. When you get down to the mat, you can take a stretch here. Draw the right knee in towards the chest. Draw the knee to the nose. And then hover that left foot off the mat just a few inches, maybe a foot off of the mat. Engaging in the lower belly just a little bit more here at the end. Just feeling that connection and that strength. Then lower the heel down, lower the head down. We'll come into our twist, crossing the knee over the body. Opening the right arm and shoulder. Just let yourself have a few quiet breaths. Slowly begin to unwind. Switching sides, bring the left knee in, right leg long. Draw the forehead to the knee, the chin curls in towards the chest. Hover the right foot off the mat. For 3, 2, 1. Lower the right heel, lower the head, and come into your twist on the other side. Come back through center. Realign your hips in the center of the mat and just take up your space here. Maybe you place a blanket under the knees or the head, or cover yourself up, or turn down the lights. And we'll take those deep cleansing breaths just like we started with, in through the nose, blowing out through the mouth. A few more on your own, and just feeling the effects on your body, helping to surrender. Anchoring into your body, into the breath as you come into this final posture. Then releasing all technique. Just allowing the body to breathe naturally without any effort needed on your behalf. Letting the body become really still. No fixing, adjusting. No more fidgeting. And of course, it's all okay if we don't win that every time, if we do fix something, or if we do fidget, it's all okay. We just recognizing, acknowledging the practice of coming into stillness the best that you can in any given moment. And bringing awareness to those habits, to the movement. Let yourself drop into the feeling of receiving the gift that you desired in the beginning. Maybe it's a feeling of joy. Maybe it's a feeling of wholeness. Maybe it makes you laugh. Just feeling what it's like to receive that gift. To feel it here with you now. To see who is around you, what else is around you as you receive this gift. How you look and feel and are with this gift. Begin to deepen your breath slowly, slowly. Bringing some gentle movement back into the body. And offering your gratitude in return as you move off your mat tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for this gift. Thank you for this breath. Thank you for this body. Thank you, thank you, thank you. When you're ready, bend the knees, roll to your side, and gently press up to a cross-legged seat. Cross the opposite shin in front. Take a moment of silence, of stillness as you arrive back into the seat where you started, and just notice the effect of the whole practice, not each individual pose, but noticing the impact that this practice has on your body, your mind, your breath and spirit. Let your hands come together, that symbol of gratitude, devotion. And take that quiet moment for your prayers, for your wishes, for your gratitude. And to seal in your practice today, taking a humble bow. The light in me honors the light in you. Thank you, as always, for joining me here. And it's always my pleasure, my honor, to guide you through this practice. Namaste is actually more of a greeting than it is to say like when we're leaving and ending, although it's become really popular just in our culture here to say namaste to close, in this way of like bowing to that light within. It's kind of worth noting that it's something that we've changed in the culture of yoga to say namaste at the end. But regardless, I honor that light, and I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much.